Oh, well, hello, and welcome to this exercise on mean, median, mode, frequency density, simultaneous equation. And it is, in fact, an examination question. And here is the question itself. And you can see it's what 5, 7, 10, 11, 14 marks. So it's quite a substantial mark to obtain. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do this in sections. Do this one first, and then perhaps do that one, and then take sections 3 and 4 together. Okay. Right, now here is the first part of the question. We got 6 houses. The occupants in the houses are 3, 8, 4, X, Y, and Z. Now, one thing to bear in mind here is that because we're dealing with median here, we need to arrange our numbers in ascending order. Secondly, because 6 is an even number, so the median value has got to come between the third and the fourth values. And so if we assume that the fourth value is 8, we need to find X. So if we add X plus 8 and divide by 2, we get 7.5, which then gives us that X is 7. So next we are told that the mode is 8. We have already got 8. So now it will seem to us that the next value Y is also 8. Right. The mean is 7. The number of houses is 6. So if you multiply 7 by 6, you get 42. Now, if you then do an addition, 3 plus 7 plus, 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus Z is equal to 42. If we then take 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 and 8 to the right hand side, the signs will change, and which gives us that Z has got the value of 12. Now, as I said earlier, now what if the question just says there is a mode? So far we've got 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. If we add those together, we get 22. So that is us with 20. Now if we divide 20 by 2, you get 10, which then suggests that Y is equal to Z is equal to 10. Okay, in this section here, we are given a table, and the table consists of 3 different class intervals. Now from 0 to 10, we got a class interval of 10, and 10 to 20, a class interval of 10, and 20 to 40, we got a class interval of 20. So at some stage, we will expect frequency density of some sort. Anyway, we're asked to write down an estimate for the total amount in terms of M and N. Okay, now the midpoint for this class interval here is 5. The midpoint for the second class interval is 15, and the midpoint for the third class interval is 30. So to find an estimate for the total amount spent, it is an estimate. We do 15 times 5 and 15M, and then 30 times N, which is 30N, and that would then reduce to 75 plus 15M plus 30N, and that's what's required there. Okay, now we now know the total amount spent, which is 75 plus 15M plus 30N. The sum of the frequencies is 15 plus M plus N. So if we divide the total amount by the sum of the frequencies, we have 13. multiply both sides by 15 plus m plus n, we get this here. If we then take 13m to the left hand side, the sign will change, so we now have 2m. If you take 13n to the left hand side, the sign will change, we then have 17n left. Take 75 to the left hand side, the sign will change, we then have 195 minus 75, we have 120. So that's what's required of us. Right, and now for the last section here, and it's sent to us that we've got a histogram, and that in this histogram the area occupied by the interval 0 to 10 is equal to the sum of the areas of the other two class intervals. And it says explain why m plus n is equal to 15. Now the frequency is given by the product of frequency density times class interval. So for the first class interval, this gives us an answer of 15, which then implies that the frequency for both the second and third intervals will also be 15. So m plus n is 15. Now we're not asked to solve the simultaneous equation 2m plus 17n is equal to 120. That's my first equation. The second equation is m plus n is equal to 15. Now if we then say from here that m is equal to 15 minus n, we then substitute this value of m into there. So we then have 2 into 15 minus n plus 17n is equal to 120. Expand our brackets, we end up with 30 minus 2n plus 17n is equal to 120. That then leaves us with 15n is equal to 90. 90 because if we take 30 across to the right hand side, the sign will change. So, and if you divide both sides by 15, we end up with n is 6. Now we now have to find the value of m. If we then substitute n is equal to 6 into the second equation, we end up with m is equal to 15 minus 6, which is equal to 9. Now, just to check, if m is 9, in this case 2 times 9, and if n is 6, in this case 17 times 6 there, and that all give us 120 hopefully. So 2 times 9 is 18, and plus 17 times 6, 17 times 6 is 102. So we end up with 120. So we're balanced. And I hope all that made some sense to you. And please subscribe. And thank you for watching, and see you again sometime. Bye bye now.